Good morning, children. Saira. So today we are going to see the third session of first lesson, knowing your numbers. Right? This lesson is for grade 6. So children, have you done your worksheets? Okay. So are you aware of the topics that were taught in the previous classes? Are you revising your daily lessons, children? Okay. So in today's session, we are going to see practicing large numbers, metric tables for length, volume and weight, metric conversion formulas and a few example sums. Okay children, let's go into today's session. So, do we use larger numbers in our day-to-day life? For example, like lakhs and crores. Do we use it in our daily life? No. So, larger numbers are not used in our day-to-day life, but they are used to measure larger quantities of matter. So they are used to measure larger quantities of matter. What is matter, children? Matter is of 3 types. So as you have learnt in science, matter is of 3 types. What are they? Solid, liquid and gases. Right? So in maths we have 3 quantities of matter, that is length, volume and weight. So the 3 quantities of matter are length, volume and weight. Okay children? So let us see the metric tables for length, volume and weight. So you have learnt this in your lower classes, but we'll have a quick recap of whatever we have studied. Okay children? All your sums will be based on this for this exercise. Okay? Careful. Metric measures length, capacity or volume and weight. Okay children, shall we learn? So there are units for the 3 metric quantities, right? So for length it is meters, for volume or capacity it is liters, for weight it is in grams. So repeat, for length it is meters, for volume it is liters, for weight it is in grams. So when you go to the tailor, okay, the tailor's shop, the tailor asks you the length of the cloth in terms of meters, right? So length is always measured in terms of meters. Okay children, length is always measured in terms of meters. And suppose you feel thirsty and you want to buy water or water bottle, you get it in terms of liters, right? Do you buy meters of water bottle? No, you buy only liters of water, right? So you want a 1 liter bottle or 2 liter bottle, it depends, right children? Volume is always measured in terms of liters. Volume is always measured in terms of liters. Next, weight. So how many of you go to market with your parents? Yes? Okay. So do your parents buy tomatoes in terms of meters, liters or in grams? Yes. So weight is always measured in terms of grams. So you buy tomatoes in terms of grams, right? Okay children. So today we are going to see the metric tables for length, capacity or volume and for weight. Okay. So this is the tables for length. So repeat after me, or if you have a notebook and a pen, you can note it down and revise. Okay children? 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. Let me repeat. 10 centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter. 10 centimeters is equal to 1 decimeter. Let me repeat. 10 centimeters is equal to 1 decimeter. Next, 10 decimeters is equal to 1 meter. 10 decimeters is equal to 1 meter. 10 meters is equal to 1 decameter. Let me repeat. 10 meters is equal to 1 decameter. Next, 10 decameters is equal to 1 hectameter. So, 10 decameters is equal to 1 hectameters. And last, 10 hectameters is equal to 1 kilometers. So, only the units for the length, quantity and weight will change, but the formula will remain the same for all the units. Okay children? So, let us go for the metric tables for volume or capacity. 10 milliliters is equal to 1 centiliter. Let me repeat. 10 milliliters is equal to 1 centiliter. 10 centiliter is equal to 1 deciliters. 10 deciliters is equal to 1 liters. 10 liters is equal to 1 decaliters. 10 decaliters is equal to 1 hectoliters. And finally, we have 10 hectoliters is equal to 1 kiloliters. So, did you understand the metric tables for capacity or volume? Children, you take a paper and a pen, write it down, then it will be much clear when you are learning. Instead of listening it once, you write it and learn it separately. Okay children? Next, metric tables for weight. 10 milligrams is equal to 1 centigram. 10 centigram is equal to 1 decigram. 10 decigrams is equal to 1 gram. 10 grams is equal to 1 decagram. 10 decagrams is equal to 1 hectagram. And finally we have 10 hectagrams is equal to 1 kilogram. Okay children, these are very important tables, and once you know these tables, it will be easier to solve metric conversion problems. Okay children? Right. So now I am going to tell you the important formulas, right? Now 1 meter is equal to 1000 milliliters. Sorry, millimeters. Repeat. 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. Repeat children. 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeters. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligrams. 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligrams. The next formula is for meters and kilometers conversion. Okay children? So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. 1 kiloliter is equal to 1000 liters. Let me repeat. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. 1 kiloliter is equal to 1000 liters. 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. Okay children, so when there is a conversion formula, for example convert meters into kilometers, you can use this formula and convert meters into kilometers or kilometers into meters. So all these things you would have learnt in your lower classes. It is just a brush up so that you will do the sums without any doubts. Okay children? Now let us go to the sums. So are you ready with your notebooks and your pens to do this sum? Okay? If not, when you are replaying the video once again, take your pen and your notebooks and write it down so that you will understand much better. Okay children? Now let me read out the first question. Okay? A book exhibition was held for 4 days in a school. The number of tickets sold at the counter on the first, second, third and final day was respectively 1094, 1812, 2050 and 2751. Find the total number of tickets sold on all the 4 days. Right? So let me repeat the question once again. A book exhibition was held for 4 days in a school. The number of tickets sold at the counter on the first, second, third and final day was respectively 1094, 1812, 2050 and 2751. Find the total number of tickets sold on all the 4 days. So, a book exhibition was held in a school for 4 days. Okay children? So, the first day the number of tickets sold was 1094 and the second day the number of tickets sold were 1812 and on the third day the number of tickets sold was 2050 and finally the fourth day the number of tickets sold was 2751. This is what you understood from the question. So now what they are asking us to do? They are asking us to calculate the total number of tickets sold on all the 4 days. So always when the term all or sum comes, what we have to do children? We have to add. So what is the operation that has to be performed here? Addition. So before adding you have to give the statements properly, right? So what is the first statement given there? Number of tickets sold on the first day is 1094. Number of tickets sold on the second day is 1812. Number of tickets sold on the third day is 2050. Number of tickets sold on fourth day is equal to 2751. So since I don't have space here, I have written all in the same line. But addition always has to be performed in a sequential order, right? So first 1094, then comes 1812, then it is 2050, then followed by 2751. So when you add it, you will get a sum of 7707. Right? What is the answer, children? 7707. So this is the total number of tickets sold on all the 4 days. Right? Only when you write the statements properly, you will get full marks. Otherwise, when you simply calculate and give out the answer, you will be getting only half marks. Okay, that is if it is for 5 marks, you will be getting only 2.5. Right? Okay, children. So in the second sum, let us see what is asked. So Shekhar is a famous cricket player. He has so far scored 6,980 runs in a test match. He wishes to complete 10,000 runs. How many runs does he need? So, Shekhar is a famous cricket player. He has so far scored 6,980 runs in test matches. He wishes to complete 10,000 runs. How many more runs does he need? So, Shekhar has already scored 6,980 runs. He wants to complete 10,000 runs. So, they are asking how many runs more he has to get when. So, how many runs he needs to score more to get 10,000? That is what is asked. So here there is no addition. We have to subtract. So first statement will be runs scored by Shekhar is equal to 6,980. Runs he want to complete is equal to 10,000. So runs he needs to score more is 10,000 minus 6,980. So when you subtract 6,980 from 10,000, you will be getting 3,020. Okay, children. So the runs he needs to score more is 3,020. So third sum. In an election, the successful candidate registered 5,77,500 votes and his nearest rival secured is 3,48,700 votes. By what margin did the successful candidate win the election? Okay, so in an election, so the person who has won the election has got 5,77,500 votes, and the next candidate has got 3,48,700 votes. So they are asking what is the difference amount of votes that the second candidate has lost with the first candidate, right? So now we are going to subtract from 5,77,500. Okay, children. So the statements will be number of votes secured by the successful candidate is equal to 5,77,500, and the number of votes secured by his rival, that is the second candidate, is 3,48,700. So, the margin by which the successful candidate won the election is, so which has to come on the top, children? 5,77,500. And the second is 3,48,700. So, when you subtract 3,48,700 from 5,77,500, you will be getting 2,28,800 votes. Okay, children, is that clear? So let us move on to the fourth sum. So the fourth sum is Kriti's bookstore sold books worth 2,85,891 in the first week of June and books worth 4,768 rupees in the second week of the month. How much was the sale for the 2 weeks together? In which week was the sale greater and by how much? So children, there are 3 questions asked here. Did you understand? So, in a particular bookstore, that is in Kriti's bookstore, books are being sold in the first week as 2,85,891 and in the second week they are 4,768. So in the first question they are asking how much was the sale for the 2 weeks together. So I have already said that when you hear the word sum or together or add or something, you have to add it, right? So now they are asking for how much sale happened in 2 weeks together. So you have to add both the weeks amount. So before that we have to write the statements. First, price of books sold in the first week of June. So it is 2,85,891. Next, it is price of books sold in the second week of June is equal to 4,768. So now when you add these both, you get 6,86,659. Okay children, so the first question we got the answer as 6,86,659. So next the question is how much was the sale for the 2 weeks together was the first question. And the second one is in which week the sale was greater and by how much. So for this we have to seek the difference, right? So which one has to come in the first? So which is the greatest number here children? That is the largest number is 4,768. Okay, minus 2,85,891. So when you subtract 2,85,891 from 4,768, we get 1,14,877. Okay children. So in which week was the sale greater was a third question. So in which week is it greater? In the first week or the second week? So obviously it is the second week, because second week only we are having 4 lakhs. In first week we are having only 2 lakhs, right? So the third statement will be sale in second week was greater than in the first week by 1,14,877. So, the remaining sums in the following exercise, we will see it in the next session. Okay children, thank you. Keep on revising. First you write it down in a piece of paper, then you do step by step revision. Okay children, thank you.